And welcome to day 203. I am leaving Maria's Diner. So I spent yesterday with my sister and my brother and his wife and had a really great time. Took a 0 day yesterday. And my brother is here, right there. And he's gonna drive me back up to Fontana Dam and drop me off, and I'm gonna start walking back. We're gonna go by the Nantahala Outdoor Center where I need to buy a can of fuel, and then I'm going to leave a resupply bag at the Rambling Roots Hostel near the NOC. So, took a 0 day yesterday, first one in almost 3 weeks. Hopefully I'm rested and I'm gonna get back on trail. I have 167 miles left to complete the Appalachian Trail. All right, here I am back at the Fontana Dam Visitor Center where my sister picked me up the day before yesterday. And after a lovely 0 day yesterday and lots of food, my brother just dropped me off. It's about 11:15. I've got 30 miles to go to get to the Nantahala Outdoor Center, where I have a hostel reservation tomorrow night at the Rambling Roots Hostel. So I'm gonna get going. I was hoping to go 15 miles today, but it's a long climb up out of here and I'm getting a late start, partly because my shuttle driver, who's my brother, was late, and then I took him to breakfast. And so it is what it is. Whatever I don't do today, I'll make up tomorrow. So we'll get back on trail, and for now, Semper Fi. I'm still moving up from the visitor center, and there's an overlook here with a very nice view of the lake. Fontana Lake. Beautiful day today, comma. So up ahead of me there is the famous Fontana Hilton shelter. I will go down and get a quick video of it for you. It is one of the most famous and most comfortable shelters on the entire trail. So it's kind of famous, and there's a restroom and showers right up above me there that people can use. So I'll go take a look at this right quick, and then I leave this paved area and I get right back down into the forest. I've got to say though that now that I only have about 14 days left, I'm really starting to have mixed feelings. I mean, I'll be happy to be home. I miss my wife. Nobody likes living in the rain and being filthy all the time. But the flip side is, it's been an unbelievable adventure, and I'm starting to feel like I just need to savor every day out here, particularly today, because the weather's absolutely gorgeous. And I had, 6 days of horrendous weather in the Smokies. So there's a sitting area down there with picnic tables right on the lake. There's a charging station there that you can charge devices. This is the shelter itself. And it's pretty big. It's one of the larger shelters on the trail. I actually stayed here in 2018, and it looks about the same. And this sticking out of the shelter right here is an eastern rat snake. And you can see his head is down in between the coils. He's just kind of chilling. It looks like he's probably getting ready to shed because his eyes are clouding over. It's just hanging half in, half out from under the shelter. So he's probably here just taking care of the mouse population and taking a break today, I guess. He's taking a 0 day like me. So we'll leave him alone. So there's leaves in the trees, finally, and there's birds singing. It's a beautiful day, and spring, at least at this elevation, has finally sprung. It's nice to have some leaves and some protection from the sun, because it can get pretty hot when the trees are bare. Having a glorious day hiking right now. Unfortunately, I got a long ways to go. So this is kind of amusing. It's hard to see, but right through the trees there is the dam, Fontana Dam. And to the far right, again, hard to see, but that's the visitor center. So I've been hiking for 2 solid hours. I've gained 1,000 feet in elevation, and I'm looking at the place I started. I can almost throw a rock over there, it feels like. I've just done a big horseshoe shape and gone up the mountain here, but there's the dam over there, right where I started. Here we go. A little bit better view of the dam from here. You see it down there. I don't know how far above it I am, but since I started this climb, I've gained 1,000 feet, so probably more at this point. And it's about 4 miles back. But you can see his crow flies is probably half a mile at most. So it's 7 p.m. and I continue to push on here. I wanted to do 15 miles because I wanted to split the 30 miles to the Nantahala Outdoor Center. So the problem is with the ride and everything, I didn't get started until almost noon, like 11:30 maybe. So it's going to be dark in an hour and I still got 2 miles to go. So fortunately, I'm probably going to roll in right around sunset, maybe after dark. It's going to be a nuisance, but can't be helped. And that'll give me a 15-mile day tomorrow. I can get into the Nantahala Outdoor Center relatively early, maybe get some dinner before I go to the hostel. So for now, I'm going to keep on pressing and recon out. Well, that is a very pretty view. Look at that. And the sun is kind of starting to go down a little bit. Shadows are creeping across the valley. And what's interesting is look at all the green. So I've been showing you all views when trees with no leaves on them, and now the trees are getting leaves. Very pretty. Good morning and welcome to day 204. So who would have thought that 204 days later I'd still be out here? Here I am. Stayed last night in my tent. I camped at the Brown Mountain Fork Shelter. Didn't get in until almost 8 o'clock. I was able to find a tiny place to pitch my tent, and that was pretty comfortable last night. This morning I woke up and I did not want to get going. So I stayed in my quilt, nice and warm. Finally got a slow start and got on trail about 9:15. Heading to the Nantahala Outdoor Center today, where I'll go to the hostel, and I have a resupply that I left there. It's 15 miles. I'll descend here for a while, and then I've got a steep 2,000-foot vertical climb over Chioa Bald. And then after that ascent, it's downhill all the way to the road and where the Nantahala Outdoor Center intersects. So looks like a beautiful day so far. I'm gonna take advantage of it and get moving. All right, I just wanted to get a video of this. If you can hear the birds. It's very pleasant hiking. It's 10 a.m., it's cool out still. The trail's not terrible, little ups and downs. It's really a beautiful morning, and I haven't heard birds in forever. So I've given you guys videos of rain and misery in the Smokies. So I thought I'd just give you a few seconds of some nice hiking. This is what you live for. So I just crossed Stecoa Gap a few minutes ago, and doing a ton of road construction down there. Looks like a huge project. The AT has kind of detoured around some of it. So now I'm on the climb, and it's a total of about 2,000 feet vertical to get from Stecoa Gap up to the top of Chioa Bald. After that ascent, then it's basically downhill the whole way to the Nantahala River and the Nantahala Outdoor Center, where the people from Rambling Roots Hostel will pick me up. Hey, you're good. So this is Matt Jones, and I am climbing up to Chioa Bald, and he is bird watching, and it's fascinating. We've had a conversation here about the kind of birds that are coming into the area right now, and they're finding mates and they're nesting and they're beating each other up to find mates. It's all very cool. So anyway, Matt is going to give us just a moment and tell us about the birds that are out here.
Yeah, I'm here. This is actually Stecoa Gap is down there, so it's a great place on the Appalachian Trail. I'm hearing things like hooded warblers, black-throated green, ovenbird, black-throated blue, worm-eating warbler. Doesn't sound too fun, but they're pretty cool. That was black-throated blue right there, and that's a hooded right there. I don't know if you hear that, but there's tanagers, scarlet tanagers, and there's, you know, lots of different types of vireos, and it's just an amazing place.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's
all very cool, man.
Very beautiful. I
appreciate it. I mean, I'm happy to hear all the birds. I'm not sure what they all are, but I went months without any birds, so it's exciting. So thank you so much, Matt.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it. Well, that was very cool. So Mr. Matt there has a gigantic lens, and he's a very avid birder, and he got some really cool photographs. and he's recording all the birds that are migrating into this area. So I'd gone quite a long time without hearing many birds, and then all of a sudden they're all back. So I thought it was really cool to talk to him and get a little tutorial on what's in the area. All right, still climbing Chihuahua Bald. This is so steep. I don't think you can get a sense of it from the camera angle here, but this is steep, and I can never like avoid the impression that there's someplace else they could have routed this trail, you know, around to this thing or switch back up it. But no, we're going straight to the top of whatever's up there. I hope it's worth it. Looks like I'm just about to the top of Chihuahua Bald. Pretty nice view. It's been quite a climb, really unusually steep. Look at all that beautiful water just running off the side of the mountain right there. And that's perfect because I was getting down to my last little bit. And that water is ice cold and crystal clear. So I continued to descend toward the Nantahala River. I've got about 3 miles to go. I saw this and I thought it was worth a moment to stop and remember this gentleman. It says, on December 7th, 1968, 783 feet southwest from this point, Wade A. Sutton, North Carolina Forest Service Ranger, gave his life suppressing a forest fire that you might more fully enjoy your hike along this trail. So I thought it was worthy of stopping for this, and Mr. Sutton, I hope you rest in peace. And thank you for everything. All right, I have just got done descending, I don't know how many thousands of feet from Chihuahua Bald. That's the Nantahala Outdoor Center directly in front of me. And there's a bridge up here over the Nantahala River. So this ends the day. I must say, I have taken a beating. It was 30 miles since I got dropped off yesterday morning at Fontana Dam. And it's just been a bunch of steep climbs and steep descents ever since. Did 14 miles yesterday, did 16 today. I just feel totally beat up. Both my knees are killing me. My right foot hurts. So I hope all this stuff gets better overnight. I'm gonna get picked up and taken to the Rambling something hostel. So anyway, I've already got a resupply there. I'm gonna go there, get cleaned up, wash my clothes, take a shower, and be ready to roll out of here tomorrow. So for now, Semper Fi and Recon out. So this is the Nantahala River, and the Appalachian Trail goes on this bridge right over this river. And you can see they do a lot of whitewater canoeing and rafting here. Here I am back at Nantahala Outdoor Center. Had a great night last night at the Rambling Roots Hostel here in Nantahala Gorge. Bookie, who runs the hostel, was amazing. She got me back over here at about 7:45 this morning. I'm having a Cliff Bar for breakfast, and I'm gonna start climbing out of here. It's a long climb up out of Nantahala Gorge to the top of Westward Bald, and I'm scheduled to be in Franklin tomorrow afternoon to the Grove Hostel. I'll need to resupply there. So I need to get going, try to get as far as I can. It's 27 miles total, so I'll probably try to split it up 13, 14, something like that. So I'm gonna strap on the pack and get moving. Semper Fi and Recon out. I forgot to mention, so that is the north end. That's the bridge I came across last night. I came down from up in those mountains there. And I'm getting back on, it's going south, so that's the road through the gorge, pretty busy road. And then the trail heads up that way. The Nantahala Outdoor Center has really come a long ways. I've been coming here since I was a teenager. It's been at least 40 years, and it's just grown tremendously. So I'm getting out of here. That's the trail going up that way. And I'm about an hour into this climb, going up Westward Bald, and this is just a little view I got. I stopped at that Rufus Morgan shelter back there to use the privy, and there's a bunch of northbounders there. I'm surprised there's still so many this late. I figured they'd all be north of me by now. So I just had a really cool, random encounter. As I'm climbing up this thing out of Nantahala Gorge, I came across a gentleman who was taking a break, and we started talking, and he had through hiked, and 2017, 2016, that time frame, and I asked if he knew Journeyman, who was the fellow that picked me up in Hot Springs and took me back to his house last week. And it turns out they hiked 1,700 miles together and knew each other quite well. His name was Magellan, and he also had a hiking stick that Journeyman had given him with his name, Magellan, carved into it. So we chatted for a while and sent Journeyman a selfie of the two of us together. So very cool. You just never know who you're going to run into out here. Really neat, random encounter. Very steep climb up here. Very narrow and steep, but now I'm up here and I have this gorgeous view. Look at this. Really beautiful. And I came from down there and it is just going up. Look at this. I'm getting way up here now. Still going along this ridge here, and I'm coming up on a shelter, and I'll stop there and have lunch. Be a nice place to take a break. It's been a pretty long climb up this thing. So as I finish this through hike, I've got probably 10 days left, or maybe less. I was wondering if y'all had any questions. You know, if you're curious about anything, like what we eat, or what kind of gear I've got, or you know, just anything about this whole endeavor, feel free to ask. You can put them in the comments. And if you put your questions in the comments, then I'll just take them all together and address them in a separate video, just in case. If not, fine too. So, continuing on. All right, this is, I believe, the Wesser Bald Shelter. So it's just off trail a little bit here. And I'm gonna come in here just so I have a place to sit, take a break. I got off early this morning and the hostile person was ready to drive me, so I didn't really have time for breakfast. And so I just took a Cliff Bar, that's all I've had today. So I'm gonna stop here and get something to eat. I always find it weird walking into these shelters when they're totally abandoned. It just seems kind of odd to me. So that is, I believe, the Wesser Bald Fire Tower. Observation tower. So I'm gonna go check it out. Actually, I'm not gonna take my pack up there though. I'll leave it down here. All right, I came up that ladder right there at the top of this tower, and I'm just gonna do a slow panorama for you. It's really beautiful. What a great view up here. The tower seems okay. It's wood. I was a little concerned about some of the steps because it's pretty high actually. And I was like, hoping those steps break as I step on them. It's a long ways down. This is really cool though. I guess it's worth the climb up here. Look at this. Huh. I don't know what this was. This is maybe an old fire tower at one point, who knows. And look at this. That's pretty high. And I'm almost certainly going up there at some point. Because why not? All right, here we go. Got my tent set up right here. Measure my pack. I'm going to go ahead and throw my bear line just because I like to get that up in the tree before it gets dark. It makes it a lot easier. I was up at the shelter, but there's, you know, I don't like to stay in the shelter. There's not that many campsites up there, and there's several other people that are using the good tent sites. So I came down here. This is actually quite nice, and I think I'll be pretty comfortable here tonight. So I'm going to get the bear line thrown, and I'm going to start working on dinner. Off we go, day 206. So spent the night in my tent at the Cold Spring Gap shelter, and I had a pretty good night. Slept pretty well. It's comfortable. Dew on everything this morning. Everything's wet. Tent's wet. It's all gross. It's just the Appalachian Trail. It's like so much humidity and dampness out here that stuff's almost always wet. So I'm packed up, moving on. It's 7:30 in the morning. I set my alarm for 5:30, and I got up pretty much after it went off. I'm like the worst person in the morning for getting going. You know, I have to go get my bear bag, and I have to coil up the line, and then I have to put that away, and then I have to get my breakfast made and have my coffee. And while I'm finishing the coffee, I'm packing up the tent, but it takes me a long time to get going in the morning. A lot of people don't even eat breakfast, or they just grab a bar and start walking, but that's not me. Anyway, I'm going by 7:30. I've got to get to the Winding Stair Gap trailhead, and there's a city bus that comes by at 3:30. I'm hoping to catch that. It's 15 miles. It's going to be close. If I don't make it, then I can try to hitchhike in. And if that doesn't work, then the people that run the hostel will be available after 5 p.m. to pick me up. But I'd rather not wait that late because I have to go to the Dollar General and resupply. I got to dry out my gear. A lot of little chores I got to get done when I get to town. So anyway, I'm going to put the phone away and get moving. I'm climbing up Waya Bald, and it's my first view of the morning. It's about not even 9 a.m. yet, and I'm making pretty good progress today. These awful eyeball bugs are back. They're actually a different kind of eyeball bug, because not only do they flange your eyeballs, but they also bite. So, not fond of these things, honestly. So I just ran into a young guy, and who I presume to be his girlfriend, heading north. I seem to be through the northbound bubble at this point. Last week, the Smokies was packed. Every shelter was full. But it's certainly tapered off quite a bit. And at this point, anybody I meet going north have pretty much started in mid-April, thereabouts, which is on the later end of a northbound through hike. Not super late, but, you know, later than average. So numbers are starting to dwindle. I figure I've got about 9 more days on trail, maybe. At the end of today, I'll have 110 miles. Whew, okay, here I am. This is the top of Waya Bald. This is a Waya Bald fire tower, I guess. I'm assuming it was a fire tower. Not anymore. There's a blaze right there in the corner. It's quite a nice view. So I'll drop my pack and get a view from up top for you. All right, well, I guess the trail comes from that parking area up there. It looks like there's a pit toilet. And I'm up in the tower now. Give you a quick panorama here. It's quite spectacular, isn't it? Look at this. This is beautiful. Wow, what a cool tower too. It's all made out of stone. All right, well, I still need to get to Franklin, so I'm gonna climb on down from here and keep hiking. So I am climbing up Siler Bald. I don't think I go over the very top of it, but close. So from the road down there to the top was 1,000 feet of vertical, which is a fairly decent climb, really. I stopped down there and had lunch before I started up this thing. So I've got about a couple more feet to get to the top of this, and then it's pretty much downhill all the way to Winding Stair Gap. And I'll get a ride there into the town of Franklin, North Carolina, where the Grove Hostel is going to be my home tonight. So I'll go there, take a shower, get my stuff in the laundry, get some loaner clothes, resupply for the next 3 days to get me to Hiawassee, Georgia, and then I will find some dinner as well. So I'm gonna get up over this thing and get down the backside. All right, I am about half a mile from Winding Stair Gap, and totally missed the city shuttle, of course. I set the alarm for 5:30 this morning. I was out by like shortly after 7. It's now 10 minutes till 5 p.m. and I'm still not there yet. And the last bus was at 3:30. So, first of all, there's a lot of climbing. Number one. Number two, I can't keep my mouth shut. Anytime I see somebody going the other way, I always stop and chat. So I'm not making super great time. I mean, somewhere between 1.5 and 2.0 miles per hour, entirely depending on how much uphill there is. And there's been a lot of uphill in the last 50 or 60 miles. So I'll be down there in a few minutes, and they're going to come get me and take me in so I can get cleaned up and get a shower and have some dinner and resupply and all that stuff. So I will catch up with you later. And good morning and welcome to day 206. And I got picked up yesterday at Winding Stair Gap in North Carolina and brought to Franklin, North Carolina to the Grove Hostel. Had a really comfortable stay here last night. It's a lovely facility. And slept in the bunk room over there behind me. And I walked into town, went to the Ingalls, got some groceries, went to the brewery, and had some beer and some dinner. And getting ready to get out this morning. I didn't get up in time to go to the restaurant, so I went in the refrigerator, and there's all this free food in here that other hikers have left behind. It's all labeled free, so I made myself a nice ham and cheese sandwich to get me going this morning. So I'm going to eat my sandwich and get my shoes on, and then once Balloobs is ready, I'm going to get a ride back to Winding Stair Gap. I'm going to do about 13 miles to a campsite for the night. I'm going to try to get to Hiawassee, where the Stanimals hostel is. I stayed at Stanimals in Waynesboro, Virginia, and also in Glasgow, Virginia, where Daytona Mike works. And this is a new Stanimals hostel. So I'm going to try to get there day after tomorrow. So basically 2.5 hiking days. That's 41 miles. So should be doable. So for now, good morning and Recon out.